Alright, what's going on, guys? I got this idea because a couple of my friends and me were arguing about which map was the best and what game and everything. So, obviously, I decided to pull up this. I ranked them in order before I even started recording. Nice V8. So, here we go. And I might include gameplay, I might not. If I do, but I might not, because I just want to talk about it. But let's go with the first one. Nocturne Toten. The very, very first Zombies map. It's going D. And it is just because it's so bare bones that you can't really do anything with it. You know what I mean? It's just 3 rooms and then survive to round 20 if you're in World at War or BO. Yeah, World at War. BO1 maybe 40, but BO3 you can go on for a while thanks to Gobblegums. Verrückt. I'm going C because it was the first map to bring in perks, a wonder weapon. It brought in the no, that was Sheena Numa that brought in the Wonder Waffle. Yeah, Sheena Numa. But it was just super, also bare bones. It was a couple doors that you bought to go upstairs. And if you played with 3 players, there would always be that one player who was left by himself. And then if he downed, he died until he turned on power. So it's just one of those maps where it's just another bare bones. Sheena Numa. No. I'm going back with C. It brought wonder weapons. The Wonder Waff. It started us to our Ultimus characters, the ones that we love to death. It brought hell rounds, where you can get a max ammo each round. It had the zip line, and other than that, nothing. Oh, the flogger. The flogger. Can't forget about the flogger. Granted, you could also bypass and get to around 1,000 within maybe 2 hours. Because how short the rounds are. But other than that, it's another bare bones map. Derice. I'm going A. And hear me out. It's the first introduction of Maxis. The introduction of Samantha. The introduction of how we learn the backstory of the Hellhounds and Maxis and Samantha. It brought Pack-a-Punch. And the iconic catwalk LMG strat. Just sit up there with friends and just see how long you can last. It's just one of those good maps. I'm not going to let nostalgia blind me, though. So, yeah. Keener de Toten. I did it. Yes. It's just... What else did this bring to anything? It brought the Thunder Gun. That's it. It's just a box version of Derice. There's Pack-a-Punch. There's perks. There's dog rounds. And Nova 6 crawlers. Other than that, what's so spectacular about it? Traps. Derice had traps. But yeah, I'm putting in B because I don't see much. Now this one, I can't be biased. I have to be as a zombie player. Most people don't like 5. It's pretty hard, pretty difficulty. The winner's Hal. It's not all that. Personally, I would put it in A, but I'm going off of what everyone else would say. It goes in C. Because actually, this was the first map where you had to build traps. You might think it was transit, but nah. If you go down to the 3rd floor, you had to get those red boxes in the Bowie knife room, and I forget the other room where you had to get it. I haven't played 5 in a while. Even though I still played in 2021. But it had the winner's Howl, even though that fucking piece of shit doesn't go past round 40. And then they had the iconic shit your pants terror of the Pentagon Thief. You can't get any better than that. Like, after this, I'm going to go play some 5. Either by myself or with friends. I don't care. Ascension. I don't even know where to start. It brought Sickle. The Sickle. It brought motherfucking PhD Flopper. the greatest perk of all time. It had the lunar landers. It started off with the first ever Easter egg to kickstart all of this. It also brought stamina. B tier. Call of the Dead. Personally, like I said, I'm being biased as the normal player. I would put this in A tier. But other than that, it's a B tier because hear me out. Hear me out. It brought Deadshot. It brought George A. Romero with actual live characters with Sarah Jessica Parker Gellar. I forget her last name. She starred in Scooby-Doo. That's all I remember. Danny Trejo, Michael Rooker, Robert Englund. First ever celebrity cast. It had the first map to have 2 wonder weapons, the VR-11 and the Scavenger. Scavenger got you pretty high, but then it had a drop off, I think, of 70. VR-11 was it worth it. What did it do? Change guys to CIA, whatever? No. It had no traps, but it had dynamic weather changes. But personally, since I'm going off a non-bias, I'm going B. Shangri-La. Now this map, I didn't play until Chronicles because I just didn't have the money as a kid to get it, and I just never thought of it. But Chronicles. I'm not going to go off Chronicles. I'm just going to try to remember what people... Because I was still part of the zombies community as a kid. I'm still am because I love this zombies. It had the baby gun. It had the interchangeable... It brought Gary and Brock. What was that one rock? I forget what the rock's called. I forget what it's called. It was just, I forget the rock, but when you did the Easter egg, it gave you all the perks. And you could keep doing that Easter egg to get all the perks. It had spike claymores. I remember that because I remember watching old gameplay of that. So I'm going to have to go C tier. Moon. Where do I even start with this? This map did so much. Granted, the Easter egg itself, RNG. You had to get the Gersh device. I forget what the other thing was called because I never used it because it always killed me. You needed those two. You needed the 2 plates at spawn at Area 50. You start at Area 51 even begin with. And at the end of the Easter egg, you blow up the fucking Earth. What could be better than... What's a better ending than that? You had the wave gun. With PhD on this map and the moon biodome. A tier. Zero gravity made it harder for the normal casual player. But if you are good, you can manipulate that. It's A tier. Other than that gravity, it's A tier. I am looking at Trayton and John dead in the face when I say this. Worst Easter egg of all time. If you do Maxis, you can finish the Easter egg in 5 minutes because all you gotta do is EMP the Avogadro, and then the Easter egg's fucking done. There's lava all over the place. Don't even get me started on the fucking denizens. You gotta build Pack-a-Punch. I understand this is the only map where you gotta build a Pack-a-Punch. The bus transit system is even worse because it waits for you for 90 seconds, and that's enough time to do whatever you gotta do at each station, at farm, at bus depot, at town, at diner. It's just overall a trash map. The fucking wonder weapon can fucking break. And you have to go places that aren't even listed in the map. It's F tier. I could keep going on how trash this fucking map is. Big, hefty middle fingers to you two. Still love y'all because you're my friends. Nuketown. Very, very, very bare bones. It's Nuketown. There's 2 houses, and other than that, there's not really anything to do. Perks drop every 90 kills or every 3 rounds. I forget what the whole thing was. And they're in a random order, don't get me wrong. So you could get Speed Cola and knock the jug to round 23. Pack-a-Punch. All the guns on that map fucking sucked except the Ray Gun Mark II, if you had buried, or the M27. I'll give you the LSAT, but the RPD and Ray Gun, it wasn't really worth it. Like, yeah, it's fun with friends, but if we're going off a general neutral, it's another F tier. I'm sorry. As much as I want, it's D and E, because it's hardcore players. And there's not really many good training spots. But other than that, it's F tier. And I don't want to put it there, but I have to be unbiased. Dire Eyes. Where do you even want me to begin? You got the Swickle Fire. Pretty patch, this map, S tier, automatically. That one shot, round's over. Dummy over. It's over because of that one shot. You had Trample Steams. They were fun. You had the AN-94, PDW, SVU. All good guns, actually. Made up for the lack of box weapons. AN-94 alone was just the gun. But if you fucked up on her sprinting and jumping, you're falling to your death. And if you have Who's Who, at the time when the bug was going around, all you heard was, who's who? It just overall wasn't a good map if you're solo. But, if you have friends, and I know a lot of people, even some zombie big people, if you have friends, the map can be pretty fun. I'm not gonna fraud. Solo, fucking atrocity. Automatic F tier for me. But if you have friends, this map's already a good fucking map. Because you're just fucking around. I'm going to E. Mob of the Dead. The greatest, one of, not the greatest. We're not at the greatest yet. One of the greatest maps ever. You had another celebrity cast. Taking place on Alcatraz Island, stuck in purgatory. You had Brutus, the Blunder Guy, the Golden Spork, the Hell's Retriever, and Deemer. You had Afterlife. You had Minigun, AK, Uzi, the Tommy gun. So much of this map was so good. S tier. The Easter egg itself, if you can break this cycle or continue this cycle, because you verse your friends at the end. S tier, in my opinion. Buried. This one's going to get me flack. Because personally, I would put it in C tier. But I have to be unbiased. It brought... Fuck the Easter egg. I tried it with friends. It was fucking awful. They didn't do anything I asked them to do. If I had other friends, then yeah, we could have done it. But the Easter egg, one of those things, it could be done in 5 minutes or 4 hours. It brought more buildables, the Subwoofer Renaissance thingy, the Head Chopper, brought back the Turbine and Trample Steam. It brought Vulture Aid, the Remington new model, and Time Bombs. It was just one of those casual maps that was one of the best. A tier. Belongs in C for me, but it's A tier for casual players. There's some drawbacks. The most controversial map of all time, Origins. 4 Wonder Weapons. PhDs in the map. It brought the KSG, Scorpion, Scar H, brought back some of the BO1 and World at War weapons. It had the Panzer Soldat, a kick-ass Easter egg for top-tier zombie players. And you could upgrade the stabs to make them even better than ever. One of the best starter pistols, the Mauser, turn that shit into the Boomhilda, and you're slaying everyone because it has no cap onto how fast you can shoot it, so you can treat that bitch like an automatic. Like, it's just one of the best maps. Personally, my favorite map, but I can understand with the repetitiveness and how long it takes to get stabs, upgrade them, and everything. I can understand that, and that's really its only drawback. Like Mud, if you had stamina, was pretty easy. If you were a good player and got the golden shovel, you can find red dig sites. Even if you dig up more, you can get the golden helmet and not take damage from the robots. One of the best maps. It's S tier. Get mad at me. Don't care. Infection. We gotta love those perfectly balanced survivor rounds. The only reason it's not lower is because the S12, I think that's the automatic shotgun, and then the exosuits. Other than that, it's pretty good. Pretty bad. Outbreak. Fuck, I don't remember much of Outbreak. I gotta look up shit for Outbreak. Nah, we're not looking it up. Outbreak wasn't another standalone map that I didn't really see much of because I just wasn't a fan of sledgehammer zombies. But I feel like it's not an F, but it's like between these two. So if there was a category, it would have been like right here. But I'm going to put it in D. Carrier. I don't even know what to say. Those survivor rounds and being infected was fucking stupid. The other two maps had them too. Nothing to stand off of. Descent. Now, this one actually beats all of them because it had a boss fight and it left off on a cliffhanger. But you also had the blunderbuss and that Goliath thing. So as long as you never ran out of ammo on that, you were going pretty high rounds with that. C tier. Shadows of Evil. Oh my lordeth, I don't even know where to fucking begin. Just so much to do. One of the greatest zombie maps of all time. Never found myself one. There's so many fucking Easter eggs that you can't do in one map, one game, because that's how many there are. The Easter egg was amazing. The weapons, amazing. The scenery, amazing. The gameplay, amazing. Everything about this map, amazing. S tier. Get mad at me. I don't care. It's the best starting map of all time. DE. Oh my god, again, another fucking amazing map. 4 wonder weapons. Panzers are back. Set in the scenery, amazing. The gameplay, amazing. The Easter egg, amazing. There's so much on this map that is so good. It's Origins, but better. Even a fanboy like me, this map is Origins, but better. S tier. Zetsubo no Shima. So I'm going to give a 2-part for this. For the first part, F tier, automatically. Hot, steamy ass. Too many buildables, too long of an Easter egg, and you have to have a gobble gum on. So you're sacrificing a slot of yours just to get a fucking spot, a part, a cog. You need a cog to go in an elevator. So why waste the slot for that? It seems pointless to me. Automatic. Oh, the bugs? Even the bugs. Automatic F tier. The KT4 is just a weaker version of the Sliquifier. F tier. But we got one of the cool, I want to say coolest boss fights, but it was a 2-part boss fight. You had the giant spider. Ooh. The giant spider, and then whatever, I don't even know if it's mutated Tachyo or not. Whatever that final boss thing is when you go down the elevator. That thing was fun. And you can get everyone can get the KT4 if they're lucky enough. But, like I said, with the buildables and how long the Easter egg, it's D tier. Gorod Krovi, Inverted Derice. It gave us one of the coolest Pack-a-Punch cameras. It brought the NX Shadow Claw. The PPSH One of the coolest specialist things. You could have a baby dragon and you can punch people. One of the best shields. I don't even know how to pronounce it. The shield of Fargnog? I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. One of the best. Can't get better than that. But the Easter egg holds it back, coming in at I think the shortest time I've done it, because we speed ran that bitch and everyone did their own thing, 50 minutes. But if you're taking your time, that shit can take a while. Because it's the fucking challenges that fucking want to make you kill yourself. Revelations. Where do I even start with you? It's a mashup of all the maps, pretty much. You got Kino, Origins, Mob of the Dead, Varuk, Noct, Der Eisendracht. That's not really one of the only maps. But the weapons, oh my lordeth! Thundergun, Apothecary Servant, and you can upgrade it! Peacekeeper. I forget, the Rift E9, the Banshee. Come on. You can't get better than any of those weapons. You had the Ragnarok DG4s in there. We wanted something else, but we got that, and it comes out. Arnie's, and you can upgrade them in there. It's easier to upgrade them than fucking Shadows of Evil. It brought so many mobs. It had the Panzer, Apothecary, Furies, fucking flies, spiders. It had all different types of mobs. But the Easter egg is what brings this Easter egg and the cutscene. It's what brings it back. They went for nostalgia over gameplay. It just wasn't worth it, in my opinion. Just wasn't a good enough map. D tier, I said it. Zombies in Spaceland. Now, I was 16 when this map came. I didn't really have... I stayed back on BO3, but I did play these maps. Zombies in Spaceland had a fun Easter egg, fun gameplay. It was just overall fun. At 16, I didn't like it, but now at age 20, I think people can say it's a good map. It's an S tier map. Rave in the Redwoods. Now this one, you could start off with melee weapons, which was pretty cool. I think they were one hit also the entire game. Don't quote me though. The Easter egg, pretty long, but not like Gorod, Crovy, or Origins or Revelations long. More like probably Shadows of Evil long. Pretty decent amount, but I'm gonna have to go B tier in my opinion. Shaolin Shuffle. Where the fuck do you even want me to start? The Easter egg was complicated as all hell. You couldn't really do anything. And when you did, dude, people had to no-life this map. It sucked. The only good part about it was the Kung Fu. Everything else, dog, hot, steamy ass. Put that bitch in F tier. Radioactive thing. I had these fucking crabs. Was he even really worth it? But it had that dynamic of turning on the power and the colors changed and it made everything vibrant. Other than that, what stood out to it? Nothing. Going E tier. Beast from Beyond. Oh boy. This is gonna be something else because this map is hit or miss with people. It was a good finale because if you did all the Easter eggs, you got that one dude. I forget his name because Infinite Warfare was forgettable. If you did all the Easter eggs, then you got the one dude as a reward, and then you could do any boss fight you want if you beat all the Easter eggs. But it was a mix-up of Extinction and Zombies, which kind of didn't blend well. But it also did. So it's kind of hard. So I'm going to have to put it It's like in between C and D. But I'm going to put it in D right now. Classified. Now, this was the start of what? BO4? It had Classified 9, Blood of the Dead, and Voyage of Despair, and Classified if you bought the $100 51 or whatever it was called. We got fucking scammed for them. 9. I meant Classified. It's apparently takes place after Shangri-La. Just do the Easter egg to get to round 150, but other than that, it was pretty like normal 5, just normal characters and BO4 mechanics. Overall, it's a C for me. It's a C. I think everyone would put it in C. 9. Oh my god. I have yet to hear a bad thing about this map. The only map I played in BO4. It had a kick-ass boss fight, kick-ass weapons, kick-ass scenery. Just overall amazing. S tier. Blood of the Dead. I'm going to have to separate this one in 2 parts. Gameplay and Easter egg. Gameplay, this bitch B tier. It brought back everything from Mob of the Dead and explored on new areas. The weapons and elixirs made it somewhat fun. The traps were amazing. The Brutus was fun. If we're talking about just fun with friends surviving high rounds, this is an A tier. But if we're talking about Easter egg and everything, it's F tier. I hear nothing but complaints about this. It is a buggy. What is the code they use? I forget the code they use. But, like, you need a certain code. I forget what the code's called. I would have to look it up. It's just not really all that. Voyage of Despair. Lackluster as fuck. Dead of the Night. Lackluster as fuck. Ancient Evil. I hear good things about this. It's one of the funnest zombies maps. Overall fun, Easter egg and everything. I'm putting it there. I'm just going to start spitting it off because I'm starting to go on for 30 minutes. And I don't think anyone's going to read this for 30 minutes. Alpha Omega. I had fun with that map. Not going to lie. The Easter egg was pretty lackluster, but overall, I had fun with it. I would put it personally for C. Togger and Totem. Sad climax. It brought back the Thunder Gun and Wonder Waffle, but made them dog shit. All you need is a rocket, the Helion Salvo. And then you're good. I'm putting it in D tier. Not all that.